This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing another U.S. city being overwhelmed and taken over by this gang that's from Venezuela. This is now happening inside of Texas, and Texas police and authorities are confirming that this gang is inside Texas, and citizens are warning that more apartment complexes are being taken over. So let's get into all the details here. Really quick, guys, please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on all this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, so this is now happening inside of Texas. Another city has been taken over, and police are warning that this gang is here. They are confirming this is now happening at the apartment complex called the Versailles Apartments, and police are warning that this TDA gang is now in Dallas. This is what's being confirmed. Dallas now has multiple areas and neighborhoods that have been taken over and are run by this gang. And we are getting reports that the Versailles apartment complex, this is in Dallas, Texas, allegedly has been taken over. This is at 4900 Pear Ridge Drive in Dallas, Texas. And citizens that live there are reporting that these gangs, and specifically this one from Venezuela, has taken over. It says here the Dallas Police Department have confirmed that TDA is in North Texas committing crimes. In North Texas, the criminal organization's presence has been rumored for at least a year. But for the first time ever, law enforcement officials have publicly confirmed their arrival. Quote, "We have had gang activity in North Dallas area linked to the TDA gang from Venezuela," Dallas Police Department spokeswoman Jennifer Pryor said. All right, so for the first time ever, they are now confirming that this TDA gang is inside Texas and inside Dallas right now. All right, and citizens are worried. They are saying that more apartment complexes are being taken over and people are being exploited and extorted right now, and they're being forced to pay this gang money to live in the apartment complex. Okay, and what happened in Aurora is that they held the staff hostage and beat them up. Okay, this is what's being reported by the police and by the councilwoman there. The gang beat up the staff that was manning the building and taking care of the building, and took it over and told them to never come back again. Right, and they left, and that's how they get control of these buildings. And the police in a lot of these areas are not responding. Right, they're overwhelmed, and they know that this is going to be a very dangerous job and a big job to go and clear out these apartments. So this is a big reason why these are operating, is because the police do not want to do what it needs to take, right? And we also have El Paso, Texas on high alert right now too, because this gang is now entering from Chihuahua, the state of Chihuahua in Mexico, through El Paso right now, and they're on high alert, and the National Guard has been deployed to put barriers along the Rio Grande River. All right, so that's what's happening right now. It also says here that, quote, "Our department is collaborating with other agencies to address possible crimes linked to this and other gangs in our city." That's what Jennifer Pryor added, the Dallas Police Department spokeswoman. All right, so Dallas Police is confirming this gang is in the city. We also just sadly had a Dallas police officer targeted in a shooting. Okay, this was Officer Darren Burks. He was fatally attacked, and this happened in Dallas just last week as well. And Burks was a former school teacher. So Dallas is under chaos right now. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a big city, Dallas, Fort Worth. It's massive. I've driven through it many times. It takes forever to get through this area, and I've stayed there before passing through. All right. And I love Texas. But these big cities, just like what's happening in Colorado and Aurora and Denver, these big cities are falling victim to these gangs and falling victim to the policies of these big cities as well. They're allowing them to collapse. All right. They're not doing what they need to do to maintain law and order. Right. It says here, this is the latest development, or this latest development is the next logical step after TDA established its new headquarters on the U.S.-Mexico border just south of El Paso, Texas. All right, I'm telling you, they are set up. And the Mexican government has issued a warning, and they're now flooding into El Paso right now. And a lot of them are not identifying themselves. So they're coming in, and we don't even know who they are or if they're a part of this organization or not, because they're not self-identifying, and a lot of them do not have identifying tattoos or markings. Okay. It says here, the Venezuelan community in Dallas is concentrated in an enclave in the northern part of the city named Villa Dallas by the Venezuelan migrants who first arrived there years ago. The neighborhood became the scene of illegal street races, beatings, shootings, and extortion attempts. Right? And this is a quote from immigration attorney Ronaldo Vasquez. He is a Venezuelan immigration attorney that lives in the U.S., and he helps people legally come over here. And he is saying that the situation right now is dire, and he is warning that these people coming over here from Venezuela are militant. He's saying that some of them are part of the Venezuela state-run military, and they are being unleashed on our cities right now. He's saying this is a military force from Venezuela, directly from Maduro, and he is saying that they are attacking our cities. That's what he's alleging, and that's sure seems like what's happening right now. So this is a quote from Ronaldo Vasquez. He said, quote, "A lot of these peoples are criminals from the Maduro regime." That's the leader of Venezuela. He said, quote, "Some are ex-security forces. They are professional criminals or part of criminal organizations. Some South American thugs are members of so-called, quote, colectivos, or Venezuelan state-run militias," Vasquez says. He said, quote, "The government-backed gangs run Venezuelan towns, demanding bribes, taking personal items from homes simply because they want to, committing crimes and attacking citizens at the request of Maduro, who was indicted by the U.S. government in 2020 for trafficking and other charges." All right, so he is warning that some of these people coming here are at the request of Maduro, and they're part of his state-run militias. All right, I'm telling you, he is releasing people. He's allowing people to leave. He's releasing some of the hardened, some of the harshest criminals that are in Venezuela are now being released into the United States right now. And that's why they are forming these criminal networks inside the U.S. and starting to take over and gain ground. Right? This is not good. This is another city. They have their tentacles and their networks in cities all over the country right now. Right? And the police departments know about it, but they're not making moves to shut it down. They're kind of operating in a open sense, and they're kind of being allowed to do this, okay? And just yesterday it was reported that Aurora Police and Arapahoe County Police Department, they did make a major arrest of one of the gang leaders in Aurora, a part of this Venezuelan gang, all right? They just announced that they did arrest this guy, all right? But it's not going to stop, right? But that's a good start. That's where it starts, but it's not going to stop until all of these apartment complexes are taken care of, right? There are dozens of them all over Dallas, all over Aurora, okay, Chicago, New York City. These enclaves are everywhere. They're embedded into our country, and they're operating out in the open. So let me know what you guys think about this situation. Let me know if you're in Texas and if you're seeing any of this stuff, especially in Dallas, Texas. Please just hit it up for me down there to help get these warnings out. I appreciate that, guys. It just helps. People need to know what's going on. All right, we need to break through and get these narratives out because they've been denying this stuff. They're saying, oh, this isn't happening. This has been going on for years, and it's reaching a tipping point because the gangs must be getting the call. All right, they must be getting the call right now to ramp up the pressure, step up things. And this is probably due to the United States and Venezuela. They are in conflict right now openly too. Okay, Venezuela had elections recently, and the US is saying that they're potentially contested elections and potentially were not legitimate. Okay, so there's a lot of pressure between the US and Venezuela, and they're also not accepting any type of deportations from the United States as well too. So that's a major issue. We cannot deport any of these major criminals or gang leaders back to Venezuela. They will not accept them, right? So we are almost forced to keep them here and keep them in our prisons where they could still have some type of operational power, okay? Still have some type of connection to the outside world or on the inside and calling shots, making moves, all right? So make sure you guys are safe and prepared and can defend yourself legally and lawfully, all right? People think Texas, all right, this can't happen in Texas. It's happening in Texas right now. 20,000 people are living in this community here, okay? It's called the Villa Dallas. 20,000 people, okay? All from Venezuela are living here. And the gangs are running this place, okay? There's also other apartment complexes, the Versailles apartments, okay? But this one migrant, it's essentially like a migrant city, the Villas Dallas, and there's 20,000 people living there, and the gangs essentially run this little city here, okay? And they exploit and extort all the migrants there, all the Venezuelan migrants there, all exploited too and extorted too, and a lot of them are forced to join into these gangs. And then they're also taking over apartment complexes too that citizens are living in, and they're paying them money too and funding their operations. So this is a nationwide crime syndicate, okay? It needs to be shut down. There needs to be the National Guard called in, and there needs to be RICO charges, okay? This should be, the feds should be all over this, shutting it down, and racketeering, gang charges. This is what they do for these criminal organizations, okay? And they're interstate operating over state lines. It's over, okay? The feds should be able to shut this down overnight and round up all these members. And it's reported that there are at least over 1,000 confirmed gang members from this TDA from Venezuela that are inside the United States right now. At least 1,000 to 2,000. It's confirmed over 1,000 right now. It's around like 1,200 inside the United States right now, confirmed. And that means that there's thousands more, potentially at least hundreds more, that are unconfirmed, that we don't know. They're not just announcing it, okay? So thank you guys. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.